How you doing? It's Sandesh here, and I'm here to do a video on article on it's on msmagazine.com, and it's called I just saw this article, and then I just thought, you know what, I actually want to do a video about this because as far as the role of a as far as a traditional wife and why it gets so um why it gets so hate, I kind of don't understand it, especially if it's a choice on the woman. Then who cares? But feminists are not gonna look at it that way. If anything, they're gonna want to try and force them not to do that. But anyway, the article is called Why the Tradwife Life is More Dangerous Than Ever Before." Fuck, stupid headline, and I kind of know where this is gonna be going. Anyway, before I get into the article, if you could follow me on X and subscribe on YouTube, Rumble, and Odyssey, and TikTok as well, if you don't mind, please. All right, here we go. They were soulmates. Well, at least that's what Olivia thought, and Brad said too. She's too afraid to use their real names. The couple met online when they were young, but lived long distance, so ended up with each other, with other partners. When they reconnected over a decade later, it seemed like fate. It was natural that I moved across the country to be with him, she said, recalling her decision to leave the West Coast for the South. I mean, we had been dating on and off for years from a distance. Brad was charismatic and charming in a boyish way, sweet to babies and old people, and close with his family. He'd been married twice, but Olivia believed his stories that painted him as the victim. She got pregnant within a couple of years, and Brad wanted her to stay home. He didn't use the term tradwife, but that's what he wanted, she said, referring to the social media trend glorifying the traditional wife of the 1950s. Alright, I'm going to say this. The ones who want a trad lifestyle is not like they want to go back to the 1950s. It's just the fact that they want to it's just that they want to it's just that they kind of like the what the traditional wife stands for, as far as like looking after the home, looking after the kids, looking up and just and cleaning up the house. I mean, there's kind of nothing wrong with that. I mean, also men do it as well. So I kind of don't see what the issue is. And called and I'm about to get to it now, but it says yeah, I felt like a slave. I mean, personally, that's more to do with the relationship more than wanting to be a traditional wife. To be honest, um, I felt like a slave. He expected me to keep the house clean while caring for our baby. He got mad if he came home and toys were around. If I didn't wear makeup and had my hair done, he would ask why. She was also expected to meet his sexual needs on demand, and he controlled all the money. The only thing with my name on it was a joint um, Costco card, Olivia said. After he cheated multiple times, they got divorced, and she got no alimony. That's surprising. You, um, usually when that happens, it's a woman that gets the alimony and also the kid as well. Brad lives in a comfortable home thanks to his well-paying job. Olivia lives in a trailer. I caution women who are tradwives because their whole lives depend on a man's love, she said, referring to the warnings she posts on social media when she sees the giddy promotion of this anti-feminism lifestyle. It's all sunshine and daisies in the beginning, but they could end up like me. I wish I'd gone to college and made a plan to be independent. When I get divorced, I had nothing. When I got divorced, I had nothing. No career, no life skills, and no credit. Olivia has good reason to be sounding the alarm. Gone are the days when women receive lifetime alimony after sacrificing their careers to raise children and tend to the home. Nah, there was still a lot more women that will get lifetime alimony and payments for childcare. That shit hasn't stopped. This arrangement, while it can work for some couples, allows a man to continue climbing the career ladder and increase his earning power. However, his wife's marketable skills often lose relevance. And If they divorce, her age makes re-entering the workforce challenging. I am a divorce coach and see grey divorce daily. A growing trend of couples over 50 who are splitting, leaving many women homemakers blindsided. It is a buyer beware since a significant number of marriages fail, said Dorian Feltman, a family law attorney in Westport. I think that's Connecticut. I think 'cause that's what it says. I could be wrong. I'll put the link in the description for this article. A traditional wife, and when you're in your 30s, you don't even think about the economic imbalance or the possibility of divorce. When things are good, it's great, but when you need to plan for what happens, when it isn't, well, women can protect themselves by having a prenup agreement before marriage, or passing up and negotiated afterwards when she decides to stay home, even requiring that she receives compensation for homemaker duties. These legal documents specify the financial settlement in the event of a split. Feltman said she sees two factors that influence awards for spousal support in divorce. In the old days, if you're over 50 as a woman, you get lifetime alimony, but now more fathers are getting 50-50 custody. Yeah? Yeah, they should get 50-50 custody. It shouldn't be one person getting full custody. That doesn't make sense, and that's not good for the kid either. Especially since many more have flexibility working from home after the pandemic, said Feldman. Plus, many female judges have juggled it all: a job and kids, and might not have as much empathy for women who have chosen not to work outside the home. Feldman continued, even when that choice was made jointly with their husband. I think more women are expected to get back into the workplace, because especially if she has the education to do so. In June 2023, Governor Ron DeSantis signed a law ending permanent alimony in Florida. Many critics insisted that elderly divorced women who have been homemakers need their spousal support to survive. The First Wives Advocacy group formed on Facebook as advocates for fairness and dignity in alimony awards, and its purpose is to demand our marital contributions be honoured by the Florida legislature and the courts. But nothing has changed, though alimony ends when a divorcee remarries in most states, and can even terminate when they cohabitate. The Florida law encourages ex-spouses to monitor and track their former partners to find out about new relationships, a potential danger for women. Women rights advocates sees this as yet another attack on women's freedom and a way to keep them under control. I don't know how this is keeping them under control or whatever, because at the end, if you say you're independent, and then why do you feel your freedom is getting attacked for? You're just playing victim, just to play victim, and you're also gaslighting as well. After all, isn't that why some men want a tradwife? No. The thing is, a tradwife is, I guarantee you, a tradwife is by choice. That's not all relationships. You can't say that a tradwife is for every relationship. No, it isn't. It can be by choice. Not every relationship is going to be like the way how they discussed it in this article when that woman named Olivia was talking about. That's not the case. Part of the tradwives philosophy, as one TikToker put it, is to submit to their husbands and serve their husbands and family. That's up to the woman. If the woman wants to do that, then that's another thing. Because if she sees a man being controlling, I mean, why don't she just leave him? Just do that, leave him. Many insist that they are making this choice because men and women should have traditional gender roles, and no one should judge them for it. The far right tradwives, oh god, far right. You see what I mean? They've got to use that term, far right, and believe the liberal feminist agenda, which empowers women to work outside the home, has robbed men of their status as the provider. Just search a tradwife on your favorite social media platform for picture perfect homemaker bliss, domestic tips, plus lots and lots of apron fashion. Well, the ones who were doing this on social media, they probably genuinely do like the tradwife lifestyle. And the thing is, it wasn't even and besides, I mean the tradwife lifestyle. Many women in different cultures basically do like it. In India culture, Pakistani culture, well, Muslims culture, excuse me, and different religions and culture embrace the traditional wife, and the thing is, I don't think it's by force. I mean, it's more the case of they would, because that they want to do it. So that the thing is, it's not just because it's not just about the wife. It's also the fact that there's stability at home, not just for the wife, but also most importantly for the kids too. Ironically, this return to June Cleaver's world for women represents a stark contrast to the indefinite and global divorces getting these days. A 2020 Gallup poll revealed 81% of Americans believe divorce is morally acceptable. The fact that 81% believe that divorce is morally acceptable, that tells you society has a serious problem with itself, and that's sad. That divorce is morally acceptable. I mean, that number should be coming way down, and relationships should be getting better. And though the divorce rate is declining as fewer people get married, the celebration of singlehood is not as more women decide they love going solo. Yeah, because the thing is, their biological clock is ticking. That's what it is. They don't want to be alone forever. Um, Divorce parties about now women who have escaped toxic relationship wear it like a badge of honor, especially those who have experienced cohesive control of financial abuse, isolation, monitoring of their time. Lovers of single life, set yourself free, writes Dr. Bella and Di Paolo in a recent book, Single at Heart. Gleefully reject the idea that putting a romantic partner at the center of your life is something you have to do, something that everyone wants, or that it is the normal, natural, and superior way to live. As for Olivia, despite her struggle to create a better life for herself and her child, she is grateful she escaped, but she won't stop warning other women. If you refrain from building your own success, it's very dangerous, she said. Being a trad wife is like playing Russian roulette. Well, I've got a question for you. For this woman that says, you know, be glad that you're single. Well, the thing is, what about the children then? What about the kid that wanted their mom and dad to be together? What are you going to explain that? How are you going to explain that to the kid? Because having a stable relationship and a stable household is what a kid truly needs to be normal, and not to end up being fucked up. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, a lot of messed up kids who end up being on drugs or turn to crime in general are also a result of a single parent household, and also most importantly parents who really didn't give a damn about their children, and didn't want to embrace traditional values. So the thing is, I mean, obviously the kids ain't gonna care, because the kids are gonna see this like time after time, and kids ain't stupid. No, I mean they pick up on this stuff earlier on. So I don't understand this whole thing about hating on trad wife lifestyle. And by the way, I hate the term trad wife. Just call it what it was for so many decades. Traditional wife. That's what it is. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe on this video. And if you could follow me on X and subscribe on YouTube, Rumble, and Odyssey, and TikTok as well, if you don't mind, please. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.